Lot to go over today. Welcome into the Cafe Nightly Show. I'm your host, the Goldsmith. It is the 19th of June, 2024. And as I had been talking and how as we've been kind of looking the last week is coming over the Genesis week hangover. We have a couple days where we're not really seeing anything. And we expected the big announcements to hit. And apparently we're far enough away from Genesis week that those big announcements are hitting. So we are there now. So we have a couple big announcements today. Obviously, we did hear the big announcement we've been waiting for the last couple of weeks, which is the Racing Consumables. That's officially in the game of Upland now, or I should say will be in the immediate future with the sale kicking off tomorrow. We will also have Guntech 2 hitting officially today with their open for enrollment now. Passes or tournament passes are open now, and there's a new feed contest which is hinting at the future of social media within Upland or the expansion of the feed system that we have in Upland. Talked about the feeds in Upland, the feed and follow as being a part of the game of Upland's communication and the connect part, but also its own form of social media right into the game. So we'll talk about that and look at that a little more. And of course, I already have it on the screen. The reveal is there. I am with the Ninjas, KO Ninja and SC Kicker, because they know a lot. They know a lot more about racing than I do. KO did something incredible at Genesis week where he just kind of went around the course in about a third of the time I did, and then he just smiled like it was nothing. So we'll talk a little bit about how those boosts work and what that really looks like. But first and foremost, before I do the disclaimer and cover our butts. Hi, KO, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. And I just, I was gonna make a milkshake to drink for tonight, but I just heard that you just make the best milkshake that I've ever in the world, and I just didn't even want to try.
It brings all the boys to the yard, by the way.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna stick with my wine in a coffee cup.
That works. Wow. Yeah, my milkshake does bring all the boys to the yard. And for further references, check out More Cheese. Had put out a video recently. Go take a look. And SA Kicker, how you doing tonight?
Doing good, man. Great to be here. Coming down off that Upland Genesis 2024 high. It was a great weekend. And we just got back and kicked it back into gear and keeping things rolling here.
You got it. And I'm gonna hit this up with the disclaimer to get us going. And of course, we have a lot to do here. We'll just get some share screens. We'll take a look at some of these announcements. But of course, there's a lot to bull crap on back and forth. Some ideas, some thoughts of what this actually means when we look at these consumables and racing and how you're going to use them and how it's going to change the dynamics of racing moving forward. All views and opinions expressed by myself are mine and mine alone. Shouldn't be taken as game strategy or financial advice. They do not represent the game of the team of Upland. Those who we do have on as guests, they have their own opinions, and welcome to them. Shouldn't be taken as game strategy advice, financial advice. They represent myself, the Goldsmith of the Cafe Nightly Show, and obviously they don't represent the game or the team of Upland. And with that, thank you guys for being here tonight. Let's start with one piece of housekeeping that I got here that I want to take a quick look at. And then we'll take a look at those announcements. So I just wanted the housekeeping up front because it's something I've talked about for the last 3-4 days of do we have an official date? We played around here in the cafe at one point with the game night that is done by or has been put on through the Real Note LA that Blue Rain had been putting on herself in a couple of different places. So this is officially the case. I'm going to put that through and put the share up and at least see the promo on that. And then we can worry about all the things that Upland put out today because they put a ton out on their own. Blue Rain's game night Tuesday nights to 10 p.m. EST or 7 p.m. PT if you are on that time zone at the Real Node Arcade. So easy enough. That's easy enough to get through. Thank you, Elijah, for sending me the promo over. And then let's worry about what's going on in Upland today. Again, the first announcement. Let's do the first one first here. And as I pop that up, when were we expecting this KO? I mean, I know we talked about it at Genesis week. We knew it was coming up. Did we expect it this soon?
I did not. No, not at all. I was actually pretty shocked to see that today. And then I was actually fairly surprised at the prices of not the car bundle, but the other bundles, the legit bundles.
That's a good point, and that's something we're definitely gonna have to have a conversation with, because it definitely sets up this economy of racing that I think is an interesting thing. Being that most of these or all of these boosts are on a race by race basis, and that definitely means there's some cost associated that just goes away. It goes away after the end of the race. That advantage, whatever that advantage is that you paid for, you have it for a couple minutes and then it's gone. So here's the announcement. We're excited to announce our first availability of racing power-ups. And again, first availability, there will be future sales, of course. This variety of power-ups will help give you the edge in your races and add a whole new dimension to each corner of the track. We're starting off with bundles of 5 randomly selected power-ups, and registration for the sale is already started. Again, it started earlier today, and the sale will be taking place Thursday, the 20th of June, 9 a.m. PT, getting kicked off tomorrow morning. With that, we are, again, starting off with bundles of 5 randomly selected power-ups in there. Let's take a look at that announcement. Not that one. Here's the one right here. And yeah, you mentioned the idea of the pricing. The bundles of 5, did we see that coming, or we think you're going to buy one for one basis, or what were your thoughts headed in?
I honestly had zero clue. I asked, do you remember? I don't remember the name of the guy that was running the racing section at Genesis Week. I don't remember his name.
Essie Kicker, help us.
I just know it was the guys that signed off the check marks that we needed. I don't remember his name. He's the check mark dude.
The guy with the stamp.
All right. Yeah. I feel bad. I'm sorry. I'll learn his name. But no, I talked to him and he was like, I cannot disclose any information. So I had no clue going into it. And I'm kind of in the middle on it. It is as a medium. If you're a medium or a larger player, I think it's going to be fine. You're going to be generating UpX to pay for these legits. If you're a smaller player, you're getting 5 legits in a bundle for 10,000 UpX or $10. So you're burning every time you boost that car, it's $2, right? Or every time you break or use that legit, it's going to be a 2,000 UpX or a $2 boost if there's 5 in a bundle. So if you're spending UpX, it's okay. If you're spending USD, that could add up pretty quick. So anyway,
just don't use the brakes. Problem solved.
Just don't use the brakes.
Just like go-karts.
Yeah, you only have to use one boost, right? Because just do the fastest speed you can. Don't brake. Just keep going. Just keep going. Don't hit the wall. You're fine. No, I think that's a key point, and I do want to take a look at that, because that is kind of, we'll do the breakdown, do the pricing, but that's kind of the breakdown, right? Is right off the bat, we're looking at the cost of 10,000 UpX right off the bat with 5. That means each of these is 5. Oh, sorry, it's 2,000 UpX a piece. You're getting 5 in a pack, but there is some variety here. So let's look at the whole announcement here. What are power-ups? Power-ups in racing are legits that racers can consume to gain added benefits during a race. Again, on a one-for-one basis, of one race basis. They help determine the player's overall max performance score. We'll get into that with limitations set for each race. Every power-up, except for the Hot Sauce Boost, has 3 levels of rarity that determine the power of the boost. Here's a closer look at the power-ups. Again, we'll look at the power-ups a little closer, but the 3 levels of rarity, that now differentiates that value of that individual asset. So we could say that different types of assets, they might have different values for people. The way they can be used, the type of racetracks that exist in Upland makes, maybe a braking more valuable than a speed boost. Who knows? But the rarity is the real thing, right? So do I want the best level? I would say, generally speaking, people are going to look for the best level. But if you're trying to titrate your performance and you've got all these tight corners, maybe you don't need that strong boost. So, I mean, there's some variables there, and we don't know what they are yet.
Yeah, and so, for instance, we have a URL race on Friday, and the course that we're racing, the Schools Out Raceway, I believe, there's 1 spot to boost, and you got 3 laps. So
So 3 boosts.
So you get 3, but so the hot sauce or the extra boost is probably not going to be great for that particular race or track, right? So, but maybe the handling or maybe the other, I'm sure we'll get into it. Maybe the other options might be a better boost. So,
Yeah, you're right. Let's get into the specifics, and then we can talk about how
Yeah,
they
yeah,
fit
yeah.
in there. Hot sauce boost gives you additional boost. Need that extra kick. The hot sauce propels you forward, and I do want to get into the way they chose to name these because they're food related, but then they go a little far for me with what they choose to name one of them. Forward with an explosive surge. I love this for the hot sauce. Explosive is right. Skyrocketing your speed. Perfect for overtaking rivals and making that final dash to the finish line. That's the hot sauce. This is what this looks like. Again, there's one version of the hot sauce. It does not have different tiers. Everything else is tiered. Nitro brake oil. Again, I'll get into this naming convention here that doesn't make sense. Improves braking score. Stop on a dime with nitro brake oil. This high performance blend provides your greater braking precision, allowing for tighter turns and more controlled maneuvers. Ideal for tracks that demand the utmost finesse. Nicotine, here we go. This is the one. Nicotine handling gum improves handling score. Stick to the track line. Never before with nicotine handling gum. This is like right out of the 50s, right? This chewable charm improves your concentration and vehicle's handling, ensuring smoother steering and more responsive movements. Navigate the circuit with confidence and grace. I think this is hilarious. I think it's hilarious because the Stop Smoking Act, they spent 25 years trying to get people to stop smoking, and now you want to race better? Here's some nicotine. You ready?
Who came up with this name?
I think it's like I think it's pretty nicely corny. Like I think it's pretty funny.
I mean, you could have used okay, so if you use caffeine here, you wouldn't be able to use, and we'll get into it. We wouldn't be able to later use an energy drink, right? But come up with something different here. Call this caffeine, and then do something different for the energy drink. I don't know. Wow.
I would like to know who came up with that and picked their brain on that one. It's pretty.
Yeah, we'll have
pretty...
that. I'm gonna find out who came up with that. We'll have that interview. So with a nitro brake fluid, so I'll first show you the basic enhanced max performance. You get the same thing over here. You get the nicotine handling gum, basic enhanced max performance. Max performance, that's gonna make you jittery as hell afterwards. I don't know why we need to just jam people up with nicotine, but whatever works. Here's the nitro fuel again, using that nitro again, but here for the fuel. And just so you know, nitro and nitrous, two different things. Nitro typically means that we're using nitrogen gas, and we're using it to aerate beverages. That's what nitro usually means. Nitrous is different. It's used to cool cool lines, so that when you inject it into a block, theoretically, you're going to be able to run at higher RPMs, which is why you use nitrous to boost. So I don't know why there's such thing as nitro brake fluid, but hey, it works for Upland. Nitro fuel charge improves acceleration score. Ignite your acceleration with nitro fuel charge. This premium fuel mix boosts your acceleration score, propelling you ahead of the pack with blistering speed. Perfect for making quick getaways and maintain a competitive edge. So this is an acceleration that is, again, going to be overall acceleration, correct? Ignite your acceleration with the boost charge.
So in my experience, you're going to get off the gate a little quicker with these. If you hit a skid, you're going to recover maybe a little faster.
Okay.
I don't know that for a fact.
It's a higher top speed, right, as well?
Can you scroll up just a smidge? Yeah. I think there's another one for higher top speed.
This is just the acceleration score.
Yeah, I think you're just going to accelerate quicker. So I think you're going to recover from those skids a little faster. Obviously, I haven't tested out these. I did test out a few at the Genesis Week, but not this one in particular. So I need to double check on that. But that's kind of how I took that.
Oh, that's right. We're coming up to the max speed boost right here. The aerodynamic wax, I'll give them that. Aerodynamic wax helps improve top speed. Slip through the wind with aerodynamic wax. Again, we're talking about tiny bit of boost of performance if you're talking about waxing, but in this case, I don't expect it to be a tiny bit of performance. This sleek formula enhances your vehicle's top speed, ensuring you glide over the track with unparalleled, smoothness, shine in the race with both performance and appearance. So they said appearance. That means my car better sparkle as soon as it hits the track, right?
What was that?
Yeah, that's what I'm reading for sure.
Well, they said shine in your race with both performance and appearance. So it's supposed to look different. I think that's just being a little bit. I don't know.
Maybe when you use it, you get that little shine, that little sparkle. But I'd have to see that in action to believe it.
Yeah, right. Because I've seen that before where Upwind says, they use the exclusive, right? They said the exclusive property, exclusive this, exclusive that, and you actually see it, and it's not exclusive. It's not actually an exclusive property. It's not an exclusive collection. It's just them using a fun terminology. Just jumping in, checking in that. So there we go. Clean that up. There we go. There's that. Perfect.
Also, you just taught me a lot about. I am not mechanically inclined at all.
Yeah.
So I just learned a lot about nitro and nitrous and.
What did you do? Go take a look. Well, I don't like when they talk about nitro because like I said, if you say nitro on tap, you're talking about I'm doing nitrogen gas into my lines because they have smaller bubbles than they do for oxygen. So again, that's a bartending thing. That has nothing to do with cars. So I think Upland they were having a brew or two when they were coming up with the names for these. I think that's what was going on.
I'm not opposed to that.
Yeah, I mean, whatever makes them happy. But I think that's what happened. I think that's exactly what happened. So we do have the three versions here: basic, enhanced, and max performance. And then, of course, we have the energy drinks. And I guess this is why they had to go with nicotine, because our energy drinks may have caffeine here. Increased duration of each boost. Power up your performance with energy drink. This potent potion extends the zest of your boost, ensuring that your speed lasts a little bit longer. Speed boost, perfect the overlasting of the competition. So here's the thing. You just mentioned it. In some racetracks, you have a very short period of time where you can boost. Now, if you're extending your boost, is that even valuable on those racetracks? Because now you're going to hit the corner and skid.
It might be on certain straightaways, on certain tracks where, that it's not quite big enough for a double boost.
Yeah.
But hey, if I had a boost and a half or a boost and a quarter, could give me just that little bit extra.
Yeah. So 2 URL races ago, we actually opened up the race. The racetrack actually opened up with a super long straightaway, 3 boosts in a row. Mm-hmm. So we opened up the race, boost, and then because you wanted to get ahead first. So man, if I could go boost with an extended boost, and then that would actually save one of my boosts for later in the race. That actually could be helpful. So it really, honestly, it's going to be. There's a lot more legits. There's a lot more options. I don't know if I just wasn't paying attention or what, but there's a lot more options than I thought there was going to be. It's going to be really track specific on which legits you decide to use, and car specific.
One the other thing too is and I got the point there. I see that maybe 30% longer is perfect, but if it's I don't know, it's going to be a titration. It's going to be seeing how that actually works, because on some racetracks, I'm sure it's going to be too much, and on other racetracks, who knows? But that max performance, I mean, from the max versus the basic. What's our delineation here? We don't know yet. I think that's when we get these announcements, we never get a percentage boost. We never get this is 25% better. This is 50% better. This is 75% better. We're going to kind of figure that out when we actually get on the racetrack, I guess.
Yep.
And then here's the most important one, I think. I don't know. This is the one that I saw that was incredible at Genesis Week. This is the Aeroscent Tree. Increases your top speed factor for each boost. Elevate your racing game with the Aeroscent Tree. This aromatic enhancer boosts your vehicle's top speed factor. You got basic, you have enhanced, and you have the max performance. And again, that I did see that when we turn that on, and then we're going to every corner and we're skidding, and we go to every corner and we're skidding, but we're going incredibly fast until you hit that corner and skid.
Yeah, so maybe a combo of what was the one that increased your handling?
That's what, the nitro brake fluid that has nothing to do with anything.
No, no, not that one. There was one that the nicotine where you
yeah, okay,
yeah.
Well, now you're encouraging kids to take nicotine. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I thought you were a role model for kids.
I'm trying my best there, Goldie.
Okay,
I'm trying my best.
Fair enough. Well, let's put it this way. We are going to assume that Upland's encouraging this of people who are 21 years of age and older, because in many states in the U.S. you have to be 21 to buy nicotine even now. So there you go. There we go. I think it's funny that it doesn't line up with TOS anymore. All right. So the Power Up Bundle sale. Get ready for this exciting mix of 5 randomly selected power ups in each bundle. Here are some details. Again, this is tomorrow is the actual sale. The registration is open now. 9 a.m. PT is when the sale starts. $10 and 10,000 UPX. Let's talk about that. Available web and app. 1,000 bundles. So 10,000 UPX, $10. We haven't seen one of these sales that were the paired sales where it's the same price in USD and UPX next to each other for a while. What do we think about that? Because I've got my thoughts.
What do you think, SC?
I think it's a little high. So a couple of comments. I'm thinking, so 5 randomly, if I'm going to buy power-ups, I want to have the option to buy the ones that I want. You know, if I'm a speed junkie, I want to buy speed. That's what I want to get. If I want to, get the braking fuel or whatever it is, I would like to be able to have that choice, not just randomly get, whatever. And then, oh man, that's not anything that I would use in racing. And I honestly think the price point's a little bit high. I was thinking maybe $5 for a bundle.
I mean, well, so on my side of my comment on the pricing is the USD to UPX, that it's straight on, dead set, right across the board.
Yeah.
When they do that, what you end up having is people buy out the UPX side first, and then they have to decide, is it actually worth way more than the UPX side? Because it's way more than the UPX side if you buy it in the USD side. And then at that point, then that inflates the value on the UPX side in the secondary market, which is kind of cool. But it also means that, Upland has to underprice it on the UPX side in order to properly price it on the USD side.
Yeah, and I have different thoughts on that with the property bundle sales, right? Because it's the opposite.
It's the opposite of property bundle sales.
Right. So, I mean, it's a little... so anyway, but I'll stay on topic here. But the 10,000 UPX, I mean, I think that your racers are going to get into this, but I think what's going to happen is, okay, the legits are going to get out there into the market. So what is that? That's going to be 5,000 legits out there, right? So I think your legits are going to get out into the market. And then, so we have I don't know. We got to talk to the URL. I doubt they're going to allow legits into the races coming up because we started this season with no legits. I'm assuming we're going to finish the season without legits. There's only 2 races left. So,
and I think it has officially been said by Upland they were going to have the ability to toggle them on and off, correct? As far as requirements in the racing or availability in racing.
That's a good question, and I might have told Jimmy Jester wrong in the chat, so probably need to double check me on that, Jimmy. Because it's just going to be, from my understanding, it's going to be the MPS score. All of these are going to affect your MPS score. So you set your MPS score limit for the race, and then if you add a boost to your S4, I'm going to get my numbers wrong, but I think it's a 139 MPS score. But you add a boost, and it's going to boost it up theoretically to a 144 or something like that. So that's how I thought it was going to run. But let's see, I got off track. So anyway, I think the 5,000 legits are going to get out there. Let's say legits were available for the URL race coming up. We're going to race this track. We're going to see, hey, what legits should I go out there and get to increase my, skill level on this particular track. And then I'm going to go out there. I'm going to look at the market. I'm going to buy the specific legits that I want for that race. That's how I see it going. So I do see the legit market for this being healthy with all these, and there's multiple race leagues out there going on. There's kart leagues going on. There's multiple different discords with lots of different leagues going on. There's a lot of people making a lot of upex with racing right now. So I think the legits, I think they're going to sell in the secondary. That's my opinion.
Well, that was my math. My math was, in order for these legits to make sense with the relative rarity, which means you're going to be talking about the premier version, the max performance. That's going to have to carry 60% to 80% of the value, probably close to 80% of the value, where you're going to have your basics that are going to be carrying 20%, 20, 30% of that value. And the one in the middle is going to be what's left from 40, maybe 35, 40% of the value of the overall market there, or the per price value. So your max performance is probably going to be costing you 3, 4, 5, 6,000 upex on the max side, where your basics might be costing you less than that 2,000 upex per each.
Yep.
In order to justify spending 6,000 upex to boost a race, your staked race has to be at least a 10,000 upex staked race, right? I mean, otherwise, how would that make sense?
It's true.
So that is true. So for the URL race coming up, the first place winner of each race gets 100,000 upex. So
and that's different. That's above and beyond the stakes.
So
that's just, yeah.
Yes, totally agree. So I don't know if it's just going to be staked races that people are going to be buying these for. It's going to create these leagues and these seasons that players are putting together.
Yeah,
I think that's going to be a huge part of it. So.
Well, it's like racing. If you've ever been to, like, not NASCAR, but if you've been to like regional racing, you have this class and this class, like the MPS. It's this CC versus and this CC, and then you're allowed to have this amount of modifications, and then you have the super mods where you just throw whatever you want at it, and that's what I see happening. Is the beautiful thing is going to be choosing the right mods. You can throw whatever you want in it, but you choose the right mods, and that is what helps make you win the race. And I think people are going to have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, it's going to change from an S4 season to a MPS 144 season.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's going to change to, or whatever it's going to, because you can have a I don't have the MPS scores memorized, but you can have an S1 racing against an S1R, but you have all these added legits that make it equal, that give it an equal chance to win. So.
Yeah, I mean, but I think that, and again, she's putting here, I wonder if this motivates Upwind to make its own race leagues. Technically speaking, I mean, Upwind does a seasonal race event, which they're going to do every season, after every season. It's something they've already talked about, something they are doing. They are going to be doing that by MPS score, as KO is bringing up. I'm covering up. I have to turn off your comment here, Cheese, because I'm covering up poor SC Kicker down in the bottom. But they are going to be doing this, and the reason why they already started telling us MPS score, that's exactly why, because they were planning on this being a big part of those races in theory. So we're going to see how that goes. But I think that is an interesting point to put here is, if you're trying to race up with the, let's say, the 1Rs, and you can't afford an 800,000 upex car, because that's what they are. They're 800,000 upex cars. You can, for the time being, for 5,000-6,000 upex, you may be able to race in that category. But then at the same time, by the time you've done that 30 times, now you spend 180,000 upex just to be up in that race class, as opposed to having that value in that car going forward.
Yeah.
So it does create this idea of temporary utility. How much is it really worth for people?
Yeah, definitely gonna have to take that into consideration for every race.
But
Sure.
and then you have the idea for supply, because theoretically we're talking about the idea of just having a ton of these out there. Theoretically, if there's only 35, again, because there's a thousand packs, 5 in each, with relative rarity. If there's only 40 or 50 of these max performances, obviously we can't be talking about somebody racing 100 times the max performance, because there's not 100 of them out there.
It's true.
So we'll have to see how that ends up getting listed out there. But I guess kind of the point here is how do you see that changing the dynamics in the competitive racing? Because you did mention the idea of people kind of pushing that way. Are we going to get some pushback where they have additional rules for the URL and other leagues, or URL or other leagues, or do you think that it's going to be something they're going to embrace and encourage?
What you think, SC?
I think it's definitely going to impact racing. I mean, without a doubt, especially as really good players at racing learn the ins and outs, of which ones to use. I think long-term, I think they're going to have to sell them in packs of like individual items. So whether it's the power boost or it's the air freshener scent thingies that do stuff, they're going to have to sell them by individual things.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if that's the point though. I think Upland, I mean, selling these in these bundles, again, it's a choice, but selling them in the bundles, it actually does create that opportunity for the secondary market, which is great for a meta venture. The problem is whether or not the price setting was at the right point. But again, if there is relative rarity and somebody doesn't want those, let's say that they don't want that nicotine gum because they don't smoke, they don't want that nicotine gum in their store, now they're going to have to turn around, or they don't want to use it themselves, they can turn around and sell it because that's not something they're going to use for their own race style. So I think it's an intentional part of that distribution, or how they're setting up that distribution. And for me, at the very least, it encourages a secondary market.
And I think that the perfect. So I think there's going to be leagues that say, "Hey, no legits," right?
Mm-hmm.
And then leagues that say, "Hey, do whatever you want." It just reminds me today that Joe Rogan's podcast released. It was enhanced games, right? So it's games. So first of all, I clicked on it thinking there's going to be video games, because we're focused on some stuff like that. But no, it was
pillow fighting,
Olympic
stuff like that.
pillow.
Olympic pillow fighting. Jesus.
You do know there is a pillow fighting league, right?
Yes.
Actually, I did know that. Yeah.
Slap fighting. That is crazy. Slap fighting.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I will fight another human in the cage. I will not enter a slap fighting contest. I don't know why these people do it.
Blow a freaking eardrum out is what you do.
It's freaking crazy.
Yeah.
But no, so Olympic games where you can do whatever the heck you want. You can take all the steroids you want. You can just do whatever the heck you want, right? So I see that. I see some leagues saying, "Hey, S4s, go crazy, get all the legits you want. It's just it's a free for all out there. Just go, So I could see some fun and some different kind of leagues going. Some strict, some not. So I think it'd be fun.
Fair enough. I mean, I don't think it's fun for an Olympics that you're all juicing with steroids, because that's a health concern. Okay,
yeah.
Let's be clear. Just like taking nicotine to drive cars faster, it's a health concern.
Hey, part of me wants to see the enhanced games. It's like, hey, let's see all these juice, because shoot, a lot of these guys are doing it anyway. So just make a league where it's legal and maybe even controlled, right? We're getting to a different topic. Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
But yeah, there a crap ton of athletes are doing it anyway. So
okay,
yeah.
Maybe at least you can make it more healthful if you could regulate it, right?
If you could regulate it, at least on the blockchain, you can't cheat. At least they're gonna know you used it on the blockchain. So
why they'll come back and check, like, why did you burn that nicotine handling gum right before you raced? I know what you did. Exactly. And along with this comes a car bundle sale. This special bundle contains a unique mix of 3 power-ups and 1 car. So you get these 3 power-ups. You also get a car randomly selected for each bundle. And I'm going to let you guys comment on this first. I'm going to read this through. I'm going to let you comment first. I've got some strong feelings about this. And I do every time. And the strong feelings always price setting on this. The following cars are available, each coming in a variety of randomly selected colors. 2024 MV Motors Series 1. That's a 60% chance you buy one bundle, 60% chance you happen to get a Series 1. A 60% chance, obviously, more than likely that's what you're going to get. 2024 MV Motors Series 1E, 30% chance that's what you get, again, with that purchase. And then the 2024 MV Motors Series 1R, which, again, we haven't had the Series 1Rs for 2024. Here they're coming out. Here's an opportunity to get some, buy them with a random chance of getting that 10%. And again, the same price regardless of the pack you buy because it's a relative rarity hit. Registration starts today. It's open and ongoing. The sale's tomorrow, the 20th at 9 a.m. PT, the same time the sale's going on for these boosts. Price is $280. Because it's a $280 purchase, it is the web version only. You can't buy an app. I do like to remind people you can use the web version on your cell phone or your mobile phone. You just have to go to play.upland.me on your browser and make sure you're using your browser version as opposed to the app. And again, this is a web-only sale because of the dollar amount. 200 of these total bundles be available. I'm going to shut my mouth a minute because I don't want to color your reaction. I want to hear what you think about this pricing and this model.
So with the bundle, you're only getting one vehicle. It's one of the 3, correct?
It's one of the 3. You don't know which.
Yeah. If I get a Series 1, I'm pissed.
For $280?
I mean, yeah.
All right. So right now, I have it pulled up right now. In Upland, not in Discord, and not in any other Upix land that can now do stuff, but in Upland, the S1 floor price is $110 US.
Yep, that's correct.
Okay, hang on one second. You can buy an S1E for 178 USD right now.
Good deal. Good deal.
Okay, and then an S1R. The S1R is the only one where you're going to hit. That's the lowest S1R in Upland right now is $577.50.
Original mint price 800, 1,000 Upix. Yeah,
correct. So this deal sucks.
This deal.
I'm sorry, Upland. And then I did the last bundle sale.
Yeah.
I don't even $125. I can't $140.
Yeah.
And I got absolutely screwed. I got like 2 T's and 1 TE. And there was like a 1E, 1R options in there too. I was like, if I just hit 1 Series 1, I was gonna like be great. Is all gonna be gravy.
Yeah.
I got absolutely screwed in the last bundle sale. It's a gamble. Basically 1 in 10 people will hit and everybody else is screwed.
I think that's about my math. And again, it's the where's the price setting. You have to look at the secondary market when you go to set the primary prices on these when you do it in USD. Because if you look at the mint, and again, this originally happened. Upland originally sold these or gave these a UPX mint value. When they go to sell them at a USD first, especially in a bundle, that you have to question that. You have to question what is the USD value versus the UPX. And I understand the 1,000 to 1, that's still Upland's calculation, but that's not the way these were originally priced. When Upland originally priced cars, it was always an UPX. They still have a posted UPX mint value on cars. So they need to see if somebody wants to get a 1E, a 1R, a 1, what that cost would be before they decide they're going to set this at $280, because again, 90% of people are going to be at a loss at this as far as the current market is concerned.
So 10%, 20 people, 180 people are going to be upset. 20 people are going to be happy. Now, if you just put 3 legits in there, that's worth 6,000 Upix or $6.
Oh, that makes a difference.
So make it interesting. Put 20 legits in there. You're right. Say, hey, you get a car and you get 20 legits. It's like, okay, at least I got a crappy car. I got 20 legits. Or
Oh no! You want a punchline? What if you gave more legits with the 1, and then you gave a little less with the E, and then with the R you got a lot less?
There you go.
Make up the difference.
What was the average price right now on the 1Es, KO?
Well, the floor price. What did I say?
Floor was 175, I think.
Yeah, right in that range.
What, you want to go buy one?
No, and what was? I've got one. No, I'm good.
And that's an Upland. Like you might be able to get a better deal, or worse. I don't know. You might be able to get.
If you buy off market, I don't recommend people buy off market first and foremost. That's because you have a locked transaction when you buy it from a store. If you buy it from a shop, you're a lot safer. That's why Upland has gone to such lengths to set up these meta ventures, and they're there for a reason.
What was the 100%. Price on the 1? I'm doing math over here.
500 and change.
No, the Series 1 was 110. I think 110 is what I said.
110.
And then you said the 1R was 500 and change.
557 or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so I saw that. I quickly looked at the floors and I was like, nah.
So I wanted
the current floor price.
Okay.
At the current floor price.
Yeah.
For all 200 of those packages.
Yeah.
At the amounts, it would be like $33,200
worth
at the floor price.
Yeah.
So if all of these 200 bundles sell, that's 56,000. So there's a $20,000, $23,000 gap.
That's called the house wins. That's called rake right there.
Hey, we were just in Vegas. They probably learned a thing or two.
Yeah, that's called rake. Yeah, I mean there are Uplands run these bundles before, these property bundles where there's a negative rake where it looks like Upland's taking a haircut in order to sell these. But I agree with this with that assessment is in this bundle setting, Upland is taking a rake. Upland is selling these at more theoretically on the USD side than they would have been sold at if they went to secondary market. And if Upland had sold these all in UPEX, let's say that they had set the UPEX value at the 280,000 UPEX, I would think that was a screaming deal.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, if they said at 500,000 UPEX, maybe that would be a decent deal. Because 500,000 UPEX, you would still be taking a haircut on a Series 1. You'd still be taking a haircut on the Series 1E, but not as much. And then you'd be getting a huge bonus on a Series 1R.
Even at 300,000, it would have been closer to market value right now.
300,000 UPEX. Yeah, 300,000 UPEX would have been about perfect because 280K, isn't that that's what a 1E1 was, right? With a mint on a 1, right?
I think a Series 1, yes.
Yeah.
And the 1E was like 360. Is that right? Something like that?
In the ballpark, yep.
And then the 1R is like an 800,000 UPEX car?
860.
860. There you go. So I mean, like if we said 300,000, that would have, again, you would have priced it more than the lowest cost car. So there would have been people who would have been screaming, or people who wouldn't have profited as much, which is fine. But it would have been much closer to where the market value is.
Make it to where a few people lose on the car, but make even on the legits. A few people do mediocre with the 1E with a few legits, and then a few people win big with the S1R, and then make. I'm an Upland. I love Upland. Upland's awesome. This sale just sucks, and so please don't be mad at me, Upland. But this one, it's just not good. And then just make it to where a few people win big, and that's great. That's awesome. But then everybody goes home happy. You didn't lose at least. That's my opinion. So
you're making 90%.
Geez, yeah. Put a couple semis in there, and now I'm enticed.
Swing for the fences, right?
Yeah.
Like
I would do it for some semis in there.
And I did see what you're doing there, SC, when you're like, okay, then what was that price? How many? What's the price? How many? I knew you were going to look at the composite value, and if you had thrown a couple semis in there by composite value, it would have made a lot more sense.
Yep,
100%.
And I think realistically, when you look at that, again, 90% of the people are losers, which you could do that. You literally could make a sale where 90% of the people lose. But if the composite value seems to line up, then people will have an easier time subscribing to that. But if you don't
better
Better gamble, exactly. But when you literally have a rake of 40%, you're on a 40 to 50% rake. People don't like seeing a 40 to 50% rake. They don't have that in Vegas. And they still make so much money. It's not even funny.
It's actually closer to 80%, but
What are you talking about? The rake on a card game is very, very limited. They win more often than not because people's gambling habits. But the true rake is actually very, very thin.
oh, you're talking about Vegas. I'm sorry.
In Vegas, yeah.
I thought you were talking about this car rake.
No. The true rake in Vegas is like very thin, but it's because of gambling habits that they get so much profits. But yes, so yes, with the with this rake, you said it's 80%. No, you said the value
56,000 and 33.
Yeah, 33,000 is the actual value. So yeah, it's about a 40% rake.
40,
40.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, it's pretty incredible. So I do want to say I don't hate the fact that they are selling in USD. I think the price setting was way too high.
No, I'm not upset at USD either, and I am all for racing and cars and like, but just with this sale, and I'm sorry, but go buy on the secondary, people, just so you know what you're gonna get, and you're gonna get a fair price. So.
Yes, Cheese. You have good ideas. That's why they get shared. And Jimmy Jester, this is a good sentiment. We all agree. Like there doesn't seem to be that big profit for the player who's coming and who's making the purchase. That 1 out of 10 will have a smile on his face, and like you said, 90% of the people agree crying.
Can I throw one more thing in there? It's like, if you're buying a 1E or 1R, go out. I know I've seen a few race seasons this season not get filled, and they can't do the race. Guys, if you have 1E, 1R, and you've paid that money, go get into these seasons. Like, commit to it and make some upicks. Like on the URL,
There's no
we practice and we do well.
either.
Well, yeah, but you guys go make some upicks. Like go buy the car and make your upicks back. Go get into these seasons, get into the Discords, ask around. There's a ton of stuff going on racing, so just get in there and
have fun too.
Well, because some of them are sponsored, right? And if you're going into a sponsored one, there's that extra purse that gets built in there. It's not just from the prize pool.
You can make good upicks for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm going to end with a promo here. Let's do it. We're excited to take the next step with cars and racing in Upland, marking Upland's first venture into consumables. Buckle up and join us for this thrilling ride. Let's go. I mean, I think that the one thing that's interesting, again, on the consumables is it does allow people to make those super hybrid cards, a car that's going to do exactly what they want to, not just a high MPS score, but also specific to the racetrack. And secondly, like I said, if you can't afford the 860,000 UPIX for a 1R or $280 to take to scratch a lottery ticket, you could still race alongside people with those 1Rs with those boosts and potentially be competitive.
I really am excited for the legits. I actually think it's cool. I'm more excited for the secondary market of those. And
me too, because I'm applying for a variety shop right now.
I think it's smart. And I think it's gonna add a lot to racing and strategy. I think it's gonna be fun.
And I will say that was a confirmation. It is a confirmation that these are going to be resaleable in Variety Legit shops. So if you have Variety Legit shops and you're questioning if you want to do that sale, I can tell you there's a better than likely chance that if you take those items, put them in your shop, there'll be somebody interested in them because they won't get the ones they want. They may not get the rarity they want. They may not get the speed boost. They keep getting those nicotines, or they keep getting the braking. And maybe they're a type of person who just doesn't like to brake. Maybe they're all gas, no brake, and they're not going to need that nitro braking fluid. So definitely is going to be something that's going to be a secondary market for.
Yeah, and I will be buying the bundles tomorrow. I will.
Yeah, me too.
whatever we can get. That's what I'm after tomorrow.
Not the car bundles.
Just the legit bundles.
No.
Just the legit bundles.
Let's be clear.
I'm getting whatever I can.
And Upland, it's not no hate on the dollars. It's a hate on the dollar amount.
Yep.
Right.
All right. Boost your way to victory. We saw that. We'll get to that. Let's do this one over here in live updates. It's kind of a big one. The Guntech 2.5 tournaments in Upland. Guntech 2 technically has been live for a bit. It's been downloadable on Steam. It's been on iOS. I do want to point something out on here. I don't know if you guys have taken a look yet. $15, $14.99 on Steam is what it costs to download. $0.00 is what it costs to download on iOS.
I have a comment.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, because so I got these. I bought the bundle, the ships at Genesis Week. I thought actually they look sweet.
They look really good. They look good.
They look sick. They did a good job with those. I got home, downloaded Steam. I've never put. I'm not a huge gamer, so I downloaded Steam. I paid the $15. Got in there. You need a controller.
You don't need a controller. I thought you could do it keyboard.
Not on PC.
Not on PC. That doesn't exist.
I've been in their Discord and they're working on it.
So they have it as an option that doesn't yet exist.
Correct. So I have paid. I have bought the bundles. I can't play. So that's where I'm at.
Did you buy the tournament pass too?
No, not yet. So luckily,
okay.
I got into that Discord right away as soon as I couldn't play, and they were like, "Hey, we're working on it."
Yeah.
They were responsive, pretty quick to me, so that was nice. And so I've got a few extras. I'm selling a few extras in the shop. But I've got a few that I'm holding. I want to hold on to. I do want to be able to play, and I would like to kind of check this out. So. But if you don't have a Mac or iPhone, you have to have. Well, I could go buy a controller.
You could.
I don't even know what a controller costs, but I'm just not gonna do
$40.
Yeah, so I'm just not gonna do that.
It's like an Xbox style controller is what you would use.
Yeah,
I got a controller on my wall you could borrow.
The one hanging up on the wall. Yeah. No, that's a good point. I'm glad you made it. So let's look at what's here. Obviously, the tournaments have arrived in Upland. The tournament has kicked off, and the competition is currently light. This is your chance to snag your spots early for the top 5, top 10, and score those weekly and monthly rewards here. Well, there's not many people in there. That's what Upland's kind of saying. Get in while it's hot. There's going to be more people in the future. Spoiler alert, the top spots are going to earn between $50,000 and $100,000, or $50,000 to $100,000 for the weekly tournaments. I think right now it's $100,000 pot per week. $50,000 goes to first. Monthly is $100,000 for first, and I think it's $200,000 is the total, something of that nature. Be sure to integrate your game in Upland to get your tournaments on. Don't miss out. Get all your details here. So here's the details. Details actually linked right to Guntech, which is kind of cool to Matilda's site. Now with exciting options for Upland users. This is cool because Guntech 2 already released, already out. 2.5 is the integration between Guntech 2 and Upland. And you brought up some good points. You can't play right now if you don't have a controller at your house. That's a good point to bring up.
I just want people to know. Because
it's a public service announcement.
Yeah.
Tournament passes, again, available. You can either buy the 3-month pass or a 1 year. 1 year is obviously the price of 3 3-month passes, which means you get 12 months for the price of 9. Otherwise, here we go. Download iOS. This is for you, SC Kicker.
All right, I can do this one.
You can do this one. And then you can play on a keyboard and mouse. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that wonderful? Or you can download on Steam, and then you have to have that controller.
These ships are what I thought was so great was at Genesis Live. These ships that when the bundles came out, they released them on the spot.
Yeah.
So T-Mail actually bought Upix.
I did too.
Did you do Goldie?
They got me to spend. All of my Upix. Like that was what happened. I just spent all my Upix on Bermuda, and it's like I don't normally buy Upix, but I needed Upix in that moment, so I bought like $50 worth of Upix. Boom! And then I bought 2 of the advanced bundles, and again because they were plop, 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 plop. And the waiting time wasn't that long. I was able to get 2 advanced bundles. Because I got 2 advanced bundles, I didn't see the need to buy multiples of the base, so I just get the single base. I was going to go pop this up here. And they're over in the varieties, the regular legits. So they're going to be in variety legit shop. So you have yours listed now, or you're going to list them?
I listed up a few. I listed a few up at the floor, and then I listed a few up just some higher prices, but and they look pretty sick. I thought
they do
really cool. I had a few like duplicates, so I just kind of got rid of a few, and they look good.
And I do want to point out right now, because I had talked to Gigi, who is the head of the project, I think, over at Matilda. I had talked to him about this because there's no language here that says this is an advanced. You see there of 2100. And then if I come over here and I look at the commons, I think this is a common. The commons are of 3500, I think.
Yeah.
2100 versus 3500. Where's my shit? There it is.
2100 versus 3500. I think.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. So come back over here. Hold still. It doesn't want to hold still. But yeah, so we do have this one, and this one doesn't want a single axis on me. But yeah, so we do end up with that, not having any differentiation. There's no language here. There's no way for me to tell that's an advanced. And the advanced ones obviously do cost more. So just keep that in mind at this time if you're going to list them, what you're listing and what you're keeping. And I was told, obviously, they're going to have different statistics, but we don't have those stats yet. Those stats in game are obviously going to be listed at some point, but we don't have them because they're not a utility yet. You can't use them yet. There's that. Okay.
I'm excited to play whenever I can.
Do you need me to send you a controller or what?
I don't know. If we don't have it in a month, I'll take a controller.
Yeah.
Send it with instructions.
Oh, I like that. So we'll have to see, but at this point, that's a big announcement as far as I'm concerned. I do know that with these tournaments, Upland's talked about these tournaments for a really long time. We kind of had that with Playmo, where they had tournaments going in a different way. I like the fact that these tournaments are on a subscription basis, so you're paying to be a subscriber into the tournament league. The payouts are on a weekly basis. You keep playing weekly. You should keep playing weekly. So you decide to play the premium version, which I think is really cool. But now that you're a premium version, your reward, or you have this potential reward, I'll get your comment off, SC Kicker. I do like his face too. That's from Cheese, covering your face up. But you do have this opportunity to get a reward because you elected to be part of this premium, which we have the same thing where you have the players pass or the gamers pass in a lot of other games. You could either play the free version or you can play the premium version. And playing the premium version, obviously, there's a cost, but there's a reward there as well. So this is pretty cool, and it sets it up on a tiered track. It would be kind of cool if there was something like that. We know Staked is now there for Trackstar. That's being set up for the Lucille experience, where you can have the staking. But this is a different way of doing staking, because it's set up in a tournament instead of a per race stake.
I love to see that. Okay, they had this partnership announced, at Genesis Week, and then they pushed it out this week. I just want to see it continue, and I think that's a two-way street. I think Matilda, I think they got to continue to be active. They got to continue to engage the players. Upland has to continue to push it. I want to see it continue. So we've seen some layer 2s come in and just kind of fizzle out, and I want to see it really, hit the ground running and keep going. So
yeah, me too. And I think that the thing that makes Matilda a good partnership is you have somebody who had a lot of experience in Upland go and work with Matilda and bring Matilda in when you have a lot of hand holding. So it's not like these partnerships where you have someone from outside the game come into Upland. And like I think that's even kind of with Playmo, where there's Uplanders who are involved with it, but it kind of felt like they thought the scaling was going to be different and how things were going to build. But the Matilda, I think they have a game that exists on its own, and they built this other revenue stream, which is this premium version that goes above and beyond people downloading the game or paying to download the game on Steam. Goes above and beyond that, where there's a way that they can monetize in the game of Upland. They've already sold assets. They have the ability to sell more assets. I think that's a great model where there's a base game and then there's a premium experience, and people are willing to pay for that premium experience. And I think that would be an incredible thing for more and more games to use that same model to come in and integrate into Upland. If there's almost a free option for people to get in, again, on iOS, there is here with Matilda. Maybe there's going to be in the future with other games with Matilda where there's a free option. But then if you want to pay the premium, you want to be part of the competitive. If you don't win all the time, you're not going to take a profit. If you're winning all the time, you're going to take a profit.
Nailed it.
Nailed it? Sure. and the more people who get in there, the less likely you are to profit. So get in there now. That was what Upland's announcement was, wasn't it? It was like, do it now because there's not many people in there currently.
It was.
It was. That's right.
Yeah, I thought that was good. And I kind of want to point this out. If you didn't have a chance, it was pretty cool. Is they did a playthrough today, Light Up Dan. So Light Up Dan is back on his stream on Wednesdays. Yeah, is it every Wednesday now? I think it is. With the Upland community stream, and with the Upland community stream, they did solely the layer 2 with Matilda with the Guntech 2.5, and seeing what that looked like, what the playthrough looked like, and it gives you a good feel for what that looks like, what the responsiveness is. Again, he was playing on a controller to be 100% with the KO. He was using a controller, so that was obviously there. But of course, it did work. You could see how it worked, what it looked like, what the graphics looked like. It was a pretty cool playthrough and an opportunity to see it. And you can go and see that because that is able to be watched as it was originally a YouTube live. You can go back and watch that as a recorded if you want to see what that gameplay looks more like. So I'm glad Upland officially did that today. Again, did that with a little bit of fun, with people being able to participate and comment. And of course, it is good to have Light It Up Dan back in that role, because those streams have been something that people have enjoyed doing in that interaction with new things coming out. Did either of you get in on that, or you guys were too busy with the kids?
Yeah, we were a little bit busy today with classes. I was, anyways.
I tuned in when I was driving.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
just for a few minutes. So
fair enough.
Yeah, it's good to see him back.
I have enjoyed that. I actually glad that it's back. Quite a few people are getting engaged. And yeah, I like it.
Yeah. And where do we have to go? We go back up to announcements again, I guess. One more time. Miles wants you. There you go. Pause for reaction.
He wants that milkshake.
He wants. Well, here. This is a little far. I mean, he goes a little far, a little quick. Miles wants you. We're all jazzed about the activity feed. I think jazz is a little bit excessive, but all jazzed about the activity feed in Upland, and can't wait to share the new features that we have up our sleeves. Again, new things coming, not here now, but we want to know, what would you love to see in the activity feed to enhance your ability to connect? And again, they did connect in all capitalization because play, connect, earn. That's the motto of Upland going back to days early on. Head over to Miles's latest post in the feed and comment what features, enhancements, etc. you love to see for a chance to win some prizes. Here it is. Activity feed is here. This is just the beginning of the activity feed in Upland, and there are more exciting updates coming very, very soon. But we want to know what you would like to see in the activity feed as enhancements for your ability to connect. Drop a comment below for your future dream feature, and I'll pick a few. And again, the personifying Miles again. I don't know how I feel about this. A few to receive some UPEX. UPEX winners will be selected Friday at noon PT. What do you think about the fact that we're all forced to follow Miles? He's like Elon. He's like the Elon of Upland. You didn't have a choice. You had to follow him.
That doesn't bother bother me as much. Can we start with what features we don't want?
Sure.
And that is, I just don't want to know every time somebody like has to go to the bathroom or has to go drive their car or has to go eat breakfast. There's too many
You don't think
notifications.
you don't think I should come over here and type I am going to go to the bathroom and then hit send and everyone has to see it?
that's what I feel like. So first of all, let me back up. I actually love the feed. I've been using it quite a bit, and I think it's great. But sometimes you go into your feed and it just shows if one person went and just followed 50 people, that's all you see is like,
Oh, I know. It just runs on for like 6 hours worth of, somebody literally followed 150 people in a row.
Or I've seen people, what are people up to, like 19,000, 20,000 people now, right? So
it's insane. How can you follow 20,000 people? I had asked somebody about that yesterday. I'm like, doesn't that choke your feed up? And they're like, no. They trust the algorithm. And if the algorithm works, it works. But
So that was my only gripe as to what I don't want to see is like every time you breathe, you get to know what that person's doing. But what else would we like to see? SC, you got anything else you'd like to see in there?
And I honestly haven't been in there too much because the times I did pull it up, it's like you said, there was like the same person 50 times or more. And it's like, man, after I got to 25, I was done. I didn't have time, just in between stuff I was doing. So I honestly haven't been on it much.
You mean when you start doing this and then it's the same person 8,000 times? Yeah, like this. Yeah, follow.
This person became friends with this person.
Yeah.
It was like the
or
same thing.
Or if they go on purchasing 1,000 properties, it's like, wow, Jimmy's on a tear right now. He's bought 50,000 properties. That's impressive. I mean, it is impressive if someone buys like 100 properties in a row.
Jimmy says that it does not like it telling his sales. I don't mind it. It's on the blockchain anyway. People can go look it up if they want to.
So I can go over up here. How do I do this? And I can go like this, and I can delete this post. So if I don't want, and that's only deleting it from my feed, right? That's not deleting it from everybody else seeing it.
Yeah.
But yes, I just traveled to LA. Now everyone knows I traveled to LA. Jeez, I'm like, what are you doing, Goldie, in LA? Why? Never you worry about it. Never you worry.
That's funny. I haven't thought about additional things that I want to see from it. I mean, it's just kind of like scrolling down through Twitter or anything like that. You just kind of see your people that you're following, and I've liked that I've made a few purchases. Like I made a purchase at Shaxlin's one of her hearts, her metallic hearts. I saw that in the feed, and I went and bought one. So I don't know. The game night that Blue Rain, I saw that in the feed. I actually got on her
right
first.
There.
It was me and the agency on the first night only, and it was just him and I. I sucked at it, by the way. I did terrible, but I saw that in the feed. So I don't know. The feed has been getting me engaged more with the community and being able to talk to more people, and I've been happy with it.
C says it's great for stalking.
As well, that's what social media is for, right?
Yeah, that's what all
that's
social
true.
media. All social media. But yeah, I think one of the things that I'm looking forward to is we do have a lot on Upland where we're starting to talk about cafes, which aren't here yet. Let's be clear, they aren't here yet. But it would be pretty cool that if there's a way to put a button out or a little push that there's a notification, a bold notification to all the people who follow you that you've gone live or that you've pushed to your cafe or whatever the case is. Or you could set your cafe as an entity. And if you could set your cafe as an entity where it gives you you could do a push notification and it says, hey, I'm live in my cafe. And instead of pushing that on YouTube or pushing that on YouTube where a lot of people get a ping if they're following people, or push that on Twitter where you get that ping that you might get a notification on your phone or somewhere else, then it can actually happen right in the game of Upland. You just whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe there could be a selection for feeds where, like, if you don't want to see notifications on people buying properties or becoming friends, maybe something simple like that, that you could just click those off that, hey, I don't want to know every time Goldsmith has a friend.
A filter. Yeah.
Right, like filter. Exactly.
I think if we had filters and you could say, show me this, show me sales, don't show me friend notifications, that would be incredible. That would be better. Because again, there are people who are literally adding thousands of friends. And I think that there may be some algorithm massaging going on, because I don't think in the last 2 hours, nobody's added a friend of all the people that I'm following right now.
Yeah, interesting.
So there might be some massage going on there at this point. I hope, anyways, because I mean, I don't see a lot of those added a friend or follow. But I did see a couple of those runs where there was literally hundreds of them in a row.
And maybe that was just a first week or two thing, as everybody was just friending everybody. Maybe it's just a short season and then it's gone. So I don't know. We'll see.
Doesn't want to. Here we go. Doesn't want to see what people love on Goldie. Wow.
I was just using that as an example. I could have said cheese.
I think it was intentional. So actually, and that's about what we've got for today. I think looking forward on the social media in the game of Upland, how do you guys view that? Do you think that, and again, this is already happening, people are already spending time reading these things, is this going to delete from the amount of time people use other social media? Is this an additive force? What do we think is going on here, though, as the be all, the large scale of this feed in Upland?
I think it's going to be a good tool, if you're following the people that you want to follow, and it keeps you in tune to what's going on, what they're doing in their Upland life.
Yeah. Move out of Twitter and right into Upland.
Yeah, like I said, I've already connected with Uplanders that I hadn't before. I've already made purchases that I maybe wouldn't have before. I think it's just so it's actually nice little plug. We stream a few times a week. We've plugged that into the stream, and that's actually helped our numbers as well. I've been a fan of it, and it's been good.
Yeah, like this. You can push that out, and again, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Twitter, where it's actually live. Notifications go out, but you can also push those notifications. You can put those recordings right into Upland. But like I said, if there was a feature where you could just press a button and say I'm live, and it gives you a little flashing thing on your thing that says the Goldsmith's live, you can go and take a look at that on Twitter or YouTube or whatever the case is. And theoretically, like I said, the theory is live from your cafe in Upland. That would be the real goal.
Yep.
And I mean, I'd love to see every broadcaster, whether it happens in a week, a month, or 6 months. I'd love to see broadcasters, Upland broadcasters, end up with cafes. It would be a way of integrating content that already exists outside the game and bringing it right in.
That'd be pretty cool.
Love it.
Nailed it again.
Nail it again. Do it again. So I actually want to talk about one more thing. I know it's getting late for SC, and he's gonna have to put his nightcap on soon and get ready for bed. Yeah, but I did want to talk to you guys.
Pots and pans flying over here in a little bit.
Oh, we're that close? Are we close to pots and pans time? So we had just we had talked right before Genesis week. You guys had a booth. How did that go? What was that like for you guys?
It went great. I mean, it was amazing. We had a great time at the booth. We got a lot of response. A lot of momentum coming out of Genesis week.
Yeah.
I think the only downfall, because I think everything was really great, is we missed a lot of the presentations that went on. And I'm glad that, like Cheese, I know had videoed a lot, and you had videoed some. We got to go back and watch all that video now. But I mean, it was just a great experience. It was great to meet Elijah and a lot of the other guys that had booths this year. And we just overall had a fantastic time. And we came back, and as soon as we got back, we were right back on our ninja projects. And, we've had a really great week and a half, 2 weeks, whatever it's been that we've been back. And we had a great day today. Had some major things happen for the Hyde Park Ninjas today. So really excited about that.
And sorry, go ahead, Kale.
Sorry. No, I was just gonna say, yeah, the you make these products, in-game assets, and then we made, we had some merch and stuff like that, and you don't know if people are gonna like it or not, and people just ate it up. It was awesome. It was really cool to see that. And a lot, some of a lot of it was just like support from the community, and I just
Mm,
felt that
mhm,
um tremendously, and that meant a lot to us. And we talked about it like, pretty much the whole week after, just really felt that support. And then the networking was just incredible, and like
mm.
Esty just said, we had some incredible networking experiences that are turning into some pretty cool stuff. So
Yeah.
looking forward to it.
How did you guys do with like the comic books? Was there a lot of good response? Did you have people like want to take them home? Did you have a lot of excitement?
Yeah,
I
we
was
had
excited for it.
fantastic response for the comic books. We sold a ton. We actually
Mhm.
had our record sales. I think it was Monday. I think Monday this week was our record sales online.
Oh, really?
We have our website is up, and we've got all of our merchandise on there now. Our
Mhm.
comic books are on there, and we did have our record day. It was actually Friday, not Monday.
Yeah, it's
Promo it.
right.
Promo it. What's the site?
Uh, HydeParkNinjas.com.
And it is a work in progress. It
It's
is
definitely a work in progress. If you know our
I love how you
skills,
preempt kicking that out there.
it's two dummies over here working our butts off to do as much as we can on our own. But yeah, you can go there. You go to the store there. You can look at the comic, and these are just kind of little teasers there. And we're looking at tying all of our assets and uh,
Hey, that was quick.
we're looking at tying all of our assets and comic book and storyline into Upland. And so we're really excited about some stuff coming. And
I wish we could. Dopest Crew, I just seen that come through. That'd be in the mail to you right away.
sweet. Really appreciate the support. Really means a lot to us. We've been working hard for 2.5 years now, um, and we don't plan on stopping. We're just gonna keep moving forward.
Man, we've got
Uh,
some stuff I'd love to release tonight, but we can't. We can't do it
yeah,
now.
can't yet.
Wow, I have you guys on 2 times in 2 weeks and no secrets.
If
Oh,
KO wasn't here, I would tell you guys, but he's here, so
Don't do it.
Wow. Well, no, I really appreciate when you guys came on and talked about the comic book, which was a big drop, was a big hint. It was really cool to have that sneaky peeky, and I think it had me excited to go see it live in person. It was busy. It was hard to get into your booth. It was pretty incredible.
it was honestly hard to keep up with it with just the two of us
Yeah.
because you want to talk to people too, and it was difficult.
Well, it was so incredible stuff. Again, I'm looking forward to. And you already mentioned this. It's just a start. You don't have a one off on the comic book. It's not like a 2-week arc or a 6-month arc. It's something you guys are looking forward to long term. You're continuing to grow the brand, and that's part of it long term moving forward with the IP.
Yeah, we have 16 comics in the planned, and obviously more after that. We have 3 artists, graphic designer, game designer. We have a bunch of stuff working in the works. So we're working hard. That was a little sneak peek. There you go. That's all you get.
Well, I
And
was
then
gonna.
we gave a sneak peek too at Genesis Week. We do have the card game is coming out as well. Should be Q4, and hopefully that'll be wrapped up. We're finishing up play testing and all that stuff we've got going on in some different areas around the US. So super excited about that project as well.
And I do want to give you props, and then again that was part of talking to you guys again after Genesis Week. Was this is a really special project. It's not the first time it's ever happened as far as somebody building a brand inside of Upland, taking that brand and making it something above and beyond what it is on a digital format, making a real world product. But you guys are really taking this to a extreme level, or to a level that nobody else has, as far as I'm concerned, and starting to build this whole Ninjaverse, right? Where there's this level of product and this level of product, and there's a real world side, and you're building this also in the digital world and continuing to maintain this focus where you have a tie to Upland, but it's everything, and it's building from again, the brand you start in Upland, but it's becoming so much more and very, very quickly.
And as many nice things as you just said, thank you so much. I just want people to remember we're just two dummies in the metaverse. We're doing our best, trying our best, but it's a blast. We absolutely love it.
Yeah, well, and again, I mean, you talk about the formation of what you guys do. You guys got together because, again, what you do with martial arts, and to get both of you guys instructors with kids, and it's pretty cool to see that you can take your day job, which is, again, as far as I'm concerned, a little bit of big kid stuff, being able to do this on a daily basis. It's like telling me I get to play with dinosaurs all the time. I'm like, yeah, I'll do that.
It is.
Yeah. And then bring that into Upland. Again, for a lot of us, it's the Upland's a game. Upland is relaxation time, and it just really fits and it really works well.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Anything else you want to drop for hints or anything else? I really appreciate your time tonight. You guys have been awesome. You guys are at least KO. I mean, even you, SC. You're both incredible racers, at least much better than I am. So I appreciate your insights on the racing side of things. But anything you guys want to promote or sneaky peeks you want to put out there?
I don't think so. We have our regular stream tomorrow on Thursday as normal. So we'll be looking forward to getting out there. If you want to do some racing, hop in there. We have prizes and stuff we'll be giving out. And I think that's really about it.
2 races left of the URL.
I think so. Yeah, I think that's right.
We
got Schools Out Speedway, and then one of the other tracks had a glitch in it. I think they're going to switch it. We'll see. But 2 races left there. But yeah, if you guys are interested, join the Discord. Reach out. It's pretty chill Discord. We do giveaways every stream. We do UFC pick'ems every single week. We're giving out, probably about 40 or 50,000 epics a week to just people in the Discord. So jump in there, have fun, and enjoy hanging out.
Perfect. I appreciate it. And I'm going to get us all 3 out of here in just a minute, but I do want to promo some small pieces. I will have Gigi at some point in the next week and a half, 2 here. Would just figure out schedules to talk Matilda and Guntech 2.5, which we just talked about tonight as the announcement. I will be having somebody come in, lead designer here, but I think in the next week and a half as well, to talk block raiders and that integration's coming up here in the immediate future, but the alpha's going on now and ability for people to get in on that. And oh my God, there's so much else. There's so much else going on in Upland. So looking forward to those things for the next couple weeks going up. Well, for tonight, thank you so much for being here. Thank you, KO Ninja. Thank you, SC Maker.
Thanks. Great seeing everybody. Thanks for having us.
And for everybody else, thank you for being here. We're here Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. PT in the Upland Discord, specifically on YouTube and Twitter as well, and on Tuesdays and Fridays in the Plaza, as long as that keeps working for us. But in the meantime, again, thank you for being here. If you are in the Upland or in Upland's Discord and you want to hang out in the cafe, please feel free to do so. The floor is yours. Please feel free to unmute your mics.
Have a good night, everyone.